Yeah, hello everyone. I hope you can hear me. Hello, hello. Yeah, well, I think you can. Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Um, this is a quick presentation on Python notebook, basically to support the application for the summer school coming up, organized by Data Science Africa, coming up in Nigeria in November. Okay. A number of people have asked me questions about how they will go about the notebook, and that prompted preparing some of these things. They are not detailed, but I'll point you to some detailed resources you can also use online. And basically, all you need to do is to get your hands on it, and hopefully you should be fine. What we're going to cover is Jupyter Notebook itself and Aconda Python programming, and then we look at some of the exercises in the notebook sent by and shared by the Data Science Africa organizers. So Python is very popular, especially in the area of data science, machine learning, deep learning, big data, all those things. Python is very, very popular. I think the simplicity, because it is very easy to learn, as you can see from the list that I made here. It's very easy to learn, and you're going to find that out when you read a little more about it. I believe a number of you are already writing and working with Python, and that's fine. If you haven't, you can add it to some of the skills you have, and you won't regret it. There used to be a time Java was the most popular language and all that, for doing so many things. It still is. It's still powerful in areas where it is, especially in embedded systems and things like that. It's also doing very well in some other areas, in natural language processing, machine learning, and so on. But Python is almost like the de facto programming language for most of these things. MATLAB is doing okay. R is doing okay. But everybody seems to be clustering around Python, because there are so many libraries that are already being supported, wrapping around Python. So the NumPy, the SciPy, the things like pandas, data frames, and so on and so forth. So many things that people want to do, and it actually integrates very well with some of these other languages that are quite popular, like MATLAB and so on in data science. So I think that even if you are not interested in this summer school for now, or even if for some reasons you are busy, you won't be able to attend, Python is something you have to pick up if you haven't already. Just for today's, you could change tomorrow, but for today's world and the IT needs of today. Okay. So Jupyter Notebook is. Python is like any other language. You can basically write Python with any editor and compile and run. You can use a basic IDE to write Python. There are so many interesting IDEs for Python. Things like, I use Spider, but there's PyCharm and so many other very nice IDEs, IDO and so on. But Jupyter Notebook is a different way of presenting Python codes. It is not just. It's basically used by researchers and educators, people that are teaching. Because there has been if you've taught programming before, you find out that one of the greatest challenges is to switch in between what you want to say and how you want to run the program and show what you want to say. So Notebook allows you to do that. It allows you to bring in live codes that are really powerful, can connect to servers, can connect to databases, can connect to files, and do other things. And allows you to do that on a web page, and allows you to also document, say whatever you want to say about that, analyze your data or results or whatever. The same way, present is a very nice, HTML format, more or less. Allows you to use Markdown documents to present whatever you want to say. So basically, it's gaining popularity as well among researchers and students and other people in education, because it appears that it is easier for you to explain whatever you want to explain. Anyway, so sorry, something happened and I had to jump over to this place. Sorry, but that's fine. So I want to talk about, because my slide is not that big. I've just mentioned a few things I want to mention. By the way, you can always pause my video or just run through my video. It's not going to take a long time. We'll run through and see what we're doing, and then you can come back and watch it as many times as you want. But I need you to also watch this video on the link that I showed here on Introduction to Python for those who are not conversant with Python. But if you are, you can skip it, or you can go to the areas in the video, because it's like a series. So there are so many videos together on different topics on that channel. So you can pick the topic that you are interested in. Those of you who are already programming, and I believe that should be almost everybody, you don't need to worry about reading too much about variables, while all those things. You don't need to read too much about that. But you want to look at the syntax and see how it differs from the language you are conversant with. Okay, so these other videos, one of them is very short, about 7 minutes or so. The other one is a bit longer, but it's still something you can fix into your normal, normal day. So, we'll tell you about Jupyter Notebook. Just very quick. The other one is a very quick introduction, very effective. The other one will give you a bit of a broader overview and a little more detail. But it still can't cover everything at the same time, because this is huge. Okay, and nobody expects you to know everything in one go. I don't know everything, and I believe not many people do. So, and it doesn't matter. What matters is what do you need and how do you get it. That's fundamentally what we're discussing. Okay, I want to talk about this question. It is the number. There are 10 questions in the notebook, as you will see when we get in there. This is the number 10 question, and I looked at it. It seems to me that it might pose a challenge to some people, understanding it, and that's why I brought it out to talk about it. I don't know if I can demonstrate. I don't know if you see my pointer on this device, this tool that I'm using to record this video. I don't know if I can demonstrate on that. I could do it on PowerPoint, but for some reasons I couldn't bring together, or maybe I don't know how to do it. I couldn't bring together the Python notebook itself, and this, so I thought maybe what I should do is to record it with another tool. Anyway, whatever it is, if you have questions, you can ask later. So if you can see the pointer, I'm trying to show how they use, for instance, things like ISBN number, which is the question there. It is a code that has, say, 13 digits on it. So the first line is the positions of the digits. If you notice, they are not up to 13. This is 12 now, which means the 0th digit we have dropped, which is the last digit. This last digit is the one we call the check digits. Okay, and what they do is to use that check digit. If you are reading through maybe a list of ISBNs, you want to know if they are all valid ISBNs or if there are fake ones in them. The check digit is the one that helps you to identify quickly whether that code is valid or not valid. However, how does it do that? The algorithm says that for every, so dropping the 0th position from 1 to 12 now, if a digit is in an odd position, it should be multiplied by 3 as its weight. So you want to sum everything, you want to sum all the digits, but in summing, the ones in the odd position, so digits in position 1, position 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, before summing them, multiply them by 3 and then sum. Okay, so if we look at the digit in position 3 here, the weight. So if you look at the weight is 3. So you are multiplying it by 3, therefore you are bringing 3 times 3 and you have 9. I don't know if you see this pointer, but if you don't see it, maybe you can make sense of what I'm saying by looking at the code itself sometime. So 9 is in the second position, which is even, so it's not multiplied, it's all rather it's just returned as 1 multiplied by 1, and then it's 9. So 3 here is in the third position, so it's taking 9, and so on and so forth. So by the time you finish, you have what you call, for each of the digits you have a partial sum, and then you pull the sum together to have the total checksum. So when you have the checksum, that is just a part of the journey. The next thing you want to do is to compare the last digit of the checksum. Compare the last digit of the checksum. In this case, it's 9, because the checksum here is 89, and the last digit of the checksum is 9. So we want to compare that with the check digit by subtracting it from 10. So we want to do something like 10 minus 9 is equal to the check digit we have here. So let us say that up here in the question that x, because we want to find x, let us say that x is 3. If we do 10 minus 9, we have 1. 1 is not equal to 3, therefore that code is totally invalid. If the code if x is 1, then that code is valid. If it is any other number, any other digit, that code is invalid. So that's what is going on there. Now, you do not need to worry so much about that. You just have to think a little about how you're going to modify what you have from question number 7, question number 8, and question number 9. They're all related, and I'm going to be taking you through some of them and then helping you thinking through that. But if after this, because my intention is not to give you the solutions, right? That's not my intention. My intention is to help you in case you find it difficult, because I'm sure that some of you also have experiences in other you may have tried this, written some of these codes in other languages, so you have experience, or you have written it even in Python, but there may be difficulties in taking to some algorithms, and that's why I am going to be helping you out with this. That's why I'm preparing this whole video. Okay, so but that's that basically. So let's dive into the exercises. I am going to get out of the presentation mode and try and see if I can show you a few other things. All right, this is the Anaconda website that I mentioned earlier. You can Google it and make sure you get down here. Then if you are using Windows, Mac, or Linux, you can install the one that lets you just do the basic installation. I suggest that should be okay, depending on how much space you have. But you can read a little on how you can customize your installation if you're interested in doing that. I recommend you install if you have the resources, in terms of memory and all that. Your system is, I believe most systems should be able to run it now. And I think the basic installation will give you the latest version of Python, so you will not have a problem with the IPython notebook. Okay, after that, the next thing you want to do is to download. Go to the Data Science Africa site. Yeah, the one I shared, but I think other people are sharing. So this is the Data Science page, and when you come to this page, what you want to do is to look for this is Nigeria, right? Where is the I think registration is open somewhere here. Then it brings you to this place. So you are supposed to click and download the Python basics from here. Okay, so when you finish that, then you submit it here. Alright, so now when you download it, what will it look like? I have downloaded one on my system. So download it and put it in a location that you can. Most times if you download straight away, it goes into your download folder, so make sure you know where it is. But basically drop it wherever you know that you will be able to reach it and work with it. So think I have extracted one of them, so which I used to look at